Remy, mwah. I'ma shoot the bitch, put my gun on my hip, shoot young Nick, then run and shoot some other bitches. Take my dick and shove it up her ass.
What's good, Mind Speakers? I'm back to talk about a topic that I feel like is like over-discussed at this point. I've talked about it a lot on my channel, but y'all ain't sick of it because you've been storming my Twitter mentions telling me to talk about it. So asking you shall receive. And so the conversation we're gonna have today is, can you support both Nicki Minaj and Cardi B? The short answer is, yeah, duh, why can't you? But the short answer doesn't do it justice. We have to get in there and there's a lot to get into. Being completely honest, there's a lot of things that have to happen in order for the majority of people to be able to do that. One of those things is that people have to just get honest with themselves. Like you watching this video, be honest with yourself. Why do you support Cardi B over Nicki Minaj? Is it because you just don't like Nicki and you don't care if Cardi never makes another song, but you're gonna get behind and support the next girl that comes and picks up a mic the same way just because you don't like Nicki? Or let's say you're a Nicki Minaj fan. Do you just hate on every girl that starts to pop? Like the minute her name is on Billboard, you gotta bash her because you want Nicki to be the only one? If you're either one of those two people, you gotta stop. You really have to analyze why you're having this internal battle to pick one or the other. But if I'm gonna keep it a whole buck, they have to get along first. And that's just the truth. They're gonna have to find some form of common ground to shut the fans up. And let's not get it twisted. I do not feel that Nicki Minaj respects Cardi B at all. Your pen game has to be elite for Nicki to want to respect you. That's just the truth. And I do not feel that she respected Cardi's pen game and respects it even less now that she knows she's ghostwriting. But Nicki's gonna have to find some way to make peace with that, you know, people just don't care that she doesn't write or doesn't care that she's not that skilled and just lay it to rest and be like, you know what, this is what I'm doing. But at the same time, we're not gonna act like Cardi B hasn't been prepared on how to defend herself against Nicki Minaj instead of being taught that, hey, there's a sisterhood that could possibly be formed there. Don't believe me? Well, let's talk about where she's signed. Everybody knows Cardi is signed to Atlantic. I talked about it in my first video about these two. Listen, Cardi signing to Atlantic is of course gonna be a problem for Nicki Minaj because Nicki Minaj is in direct competition with Universal Republic over that female rap bag, right? And so Lady Lesha is a rapper from the UK and she talks about all the time how she allegedly was flown out by an A&R from Atlantic and they pretty much told her, hey, if we sign you, you gotta go at Nicki. So if you don't think by that logic that there aren't conversations in that building going on about Cardi B versus Nicki Minaj and to Cardi B about Nicki Minaj that aren't in favor of sisterhood, you're crazy. There definitely are. But stans and media play their fair share in the reason why they don't like each other too. I'm gonna keep it a buck because if Cardi B is on Twitter and every time she gets a hate comment, there's Minaj in the Twitter handle, she's gonna feel some type of way. And that happens a lot, and I say it all the time. That builds resentment against Nicki from other celebrities and other people in the industry because, I mean, they see that, and that's like, Nicki stans hate me, what the fuck? But if y'all really wanted them to be together, you wouldn't have tried to act like Cardi was taking Nicki out by being successful in the first place. And they've done it to numerous girls over the years. They did it with Keys, even though she's probably still somewhere sitting on a stoop trying to get back on YouTube. They said that Brianna Perry was gonna take Nicki Minaj out. They said that Lola Monroe was gonna take Nicki out when she signed to Taylor Gang. Then they said Iggy Azalea was gonna take Nicki out after Fancy went #1 and she had all those songs on the Hot 100. Then they said Azalea Banks was gonna take Nicki out before they realized that she made house music and homophobic hip-hop heads were like, nah, we ain't with that gay shit. Then they said Tingz was gonna take Nicki Minaj out, but then with the whole falling out with Timbaland, she lost mainstream support. Then they said Young M.A was gonna take Nicki out, but then they said, we really aren't interested in female rappers that really aren't available for our sexual consumption, so they dubbed her. Remy Ma came out swinging straight out of prison, weaponized herself, and Lil Kim has an entire Nicki Minaj diss catalog, and it all started when she got on that stage with Ray J and they dissed Drake and Nicki Minaj, and it's been beef ever since. So y'all weaponize female rappers to Nicki Minaj. You never extend a female rapper to Nicki and be like, oh hey, this girl is dope, you guys should work, you should listen to this, Nick. Y'all treat every girl that rhymes cat with mat with sat with hat, y'all immediately be like, yo, Nicki's dead, it's over. And she is a competitive New York person. She's a beast, she's hungry. No one wants that crown more than Nicki Minaj. You're gonna have to pry it out of her little cold dead hands. So if y'all would stop weaponizing these women to her, she wouldn't feel the need to protect herself against them as well. All of you are playing a part in the reason why these two cannot get along. Everybody's calling for another ladies night. If you don't know what ladies night is, it was a song done by Lil Kim with Angie Martinez and the Brat and my queen Lisa Left Eye Lopez and Missy Elliott. Hopefully I'm not missing anybody. I think I got everybody. And it was a great showing of female unity. Even Queen Latifah was in the video. It was great. But everybody wants a part 2 now because we have a lot of rap girls. But I'm gonna be honest, if it's not gonna have Nicki and Cardi in it, it's a dub. If Cardi were to do it it and didn't include Nicki, it would be a commentary on the fact that you don't like Nicki Minaj. If Nicki did that, it'd be the same thing. The same way when Remy invited every other female rapper besides Nicki Minaj out to Summer Jam, it just looked like, hey look, I like all these girls and I don't like Nicki. It doesn't look like real unity. So if they're gonna do it, they both have to be in it. If not, just don't touch it. In order to support Nicki Minaj and Cardi B, you have to stop listening to intentionally dishonest media. And a lot of the media right now is intentionally skewed in Cardi B's favor. Let's start with this GQ article that was just released the day after Cardi dropped Invasion of Privacy, right? And it was written by this woman named Eleanor Halls. Eleanor Halls is a white woman. And I know a lot of y'all gonna be like, well, what does her being white have to do with it? It plays a part, let me get there. In this article that is titled, "The Best Song on Cardi B's Debut Album is Get Up 10, Eleanor goes on to say, Bodak Yellow became a fiery anthem for women of color. Now, that shows that we know that color is a thing here, right? Because she brought it up. So since we gonna go there, we gonna go there. And at the end, she says, Cardi was the new Nicki, except better, cooler, funnier, realer. Nicki intimidates, Cardi endears. Bye Barbie, hey Bacardi. Calling Cardi B the new Nicki Minaj is disrespectful to Cardi B. She don't want to be no new Nicki Minaj. She wants to be the first Cardi B. So just respect her identity. Don't call her the new anybody. That's just rude. Second of all, her name is Belcalis. It's not Bacardi. But the real problem I have in this is, except better, cooler, funnier, realer. Nicki intimidates, Cardi endears. Now, I get it. Everybody loves that Cardi B is raw. She's 100% like plucked from the heights, unchanged, raw Bronx, right? And that's great, everyone loves it. And the same thing with Tiffany Haddish. We love that she is just 100% irreverent, unchanged. However, this is 2018, and blackness and your raw self and all that stuff is great now. But 2010 was a different world. And when Nicki Minaj was on the come up DVDs and she was going off, she's done it all. She's been that girl. But when she propelled herself to be the first female rapper in certain spaces, doing certain interviews like Ellen, Chelsea Lately, I remember she did George Lopez. She loves a power known to us as code switching. And that is, if you don't know what code switching is, it is when people of color, you take on a more muted, passable demeanor because the dominant culture sees those ethnic markers as a lack of education. And so to be taken seriously, yes, she did code switch. If Nicki is intimidating through the way she is, if that's not real, you saying Cardi endears, endearing has a patronizing connotation to it that I think you guys have to understand what's going on here, and I don't like that. Cardi B is one of the smartest people that is in the industry today. Please do not confuse her character, because what she's doing is a character. She's one of the smartest women in entertainment that is out right now. And she's capitalizing off of the fact that white culture thinks that she's dumb. So in order for Cardi to get into these spaces where it's fun seeing her be herself, realize that the only female rapper to be in some of these spaces was Nicki Minaj. All of that irreverence was not a positive thing in 2010, in 2011, in 2012, because if you want to be real, the minute Nicki got into that fight with Mariah Carey and the Queens jumped out, all of a sudden the white media was talking about how she was a monster and how she was trying to shoot Mariah Carey on set and a whole bunch of dumb shit. The hood jumping out of Nicki Minaj was not positive in 2012. The world has gotten better and that is amazing, but it hasn't always been that way. But the media has been very sporadic when it comes to these two and the things that have been going on, choosing what to cover, what not to cover, and the fans are seeing it all and they're like, no, that's not the story. Why are you painting the narrative for people who don't have Twitter as to what is going on? And that's causing people to point the fingers back at Atlantic. Because if you look at the two rosters, the Atlantic roster and the Universal Republic roster, Cardi B is the steak of the meal over there at Atlantic. She's the one. She's keeping the lights on. Everybody knows that's the truth. She is their franchise player. She is the LeBron James of that building. But Nicki on Republic, I mean, they have Ariana Grande, they have Drake, they have Post Malone, they have a lot of artists that are doing very well. So it's an entire building that is going against Nicki Minaj, when realistically, there shouldn't even be a problem. But I was very surprised that many news media outlets did not cover the whole motorsport drama. I really didn't want to cover it in my last video about Chun-Li. I just said I don't care, and I really don't. But y'all want me to talk about it, so I'm gonna talk about it. After Nicki did her whole interview with Zane Lowe, and you know, she talked about the whole thing with Cardi and the motorsport and all that stuff, miraculously, DJ Academics has the original motorsport verse, and he decides to leak it, right? Now, I don't know how that came about, but I'm gonna leave it to you to put them pieces together. But if you listen to it, there's a singing part, and then she says, if Cardi the QB, I'm Nick Lombardi instead of Quavo. So that again makes Nicki look bad, saying, you said you didn't change your verse, clearly you changed your verse. So So then Nicki had to tweet and say, Quavo told me to take the singing part out, which I agree, great advice, Quavo. And you told me, as per your request, to take your name out of the bar. Now, of course, some people could be saying it could be seen as a dig, like she's sunning her or whatever. Is it that big of a deal? No, but I mean, sure, if you don't want it in there, that's fine. But I don't think it was Cardi that wanted that line out. A lot of you may not know that Famous has text messages between Cardi B and Offset. Now, if you don't think they're real, the fact that Famous's Instagram and Twitter page were both deleted after they came out with these text messages, that proves something. And people have gotten into Offset's phone before. I ain't gonna post the text because they ain't finna come over here and stop my bag, but I'm gonna tell you what was in it. Cardi B was upset because she said after the people in her building heard Motorsport, they felt that Nicki was being disrespectful in that line, and they said, how dare your man, if that's really someone who's supposed to be your boyfriend, if he's really down for you, if he really cares about you, how dare he let you get dissed on a song? And she was upset with all of that because she's trying to please all these people. So the song comes out, people basically say that Nicki bodies Cardi on the song, and then Cardi starts saying, oh, well, she changed her verse. But if you know that you're the reason why the verse was changed, why would you say that? You know what I mean? Like, you know why the verse was changed. And I even have a text message where a Nicki fan says, Nicki bodied you, and then she says, oh, she did hers after mine. I took a screenshot before she could delete it, but it was deleted in like 2 minutes. But you know it wasn't done after you. You know why it was changed. So the fact that media sees all this and isn't picking it up is suspicious. It's just not right. You know what I mean? Nicki isn't always right, but Cardi won't right in that. She was defending her rap clout at the time because at that time she was still pretending that she was writing this stuff. Let's be real. And now all of a sudden it's okay to a whole bunch of people that she has a ghostwriter. And that's okay. If that's okay for you, I'll let you have it. I have problems with that, but you know, to each his own. A lot of people, when they're discussing the media, they're talking about basically Hot 97 and Power 105.1. And I'm gonna give you the real about how I feel about Nicki's relationships with both of them. Nicki's been known to press DJs. She is an artist. She is involved in every nook and cranny of every song. When she puts that song to you and you say it's not hot, she's up in your grill piece. Like, what the fuck? Like, you don't like my shit? She has a problem with that. She would get up in your shit and she would talk to you personally and be like, nigga, fuck you, you're hating. And maybe some of the songs just weren't hot, but that's how she feels. She's had to get up in DJs to play her songs while she's there as the guest. She's had to do that. And because she's had to go at these doors with sledgehammers, Cardi B can just walk in and smile and know that her music is gonna be played. Know that these DJs would have seen her videos, listened to her album, will have the music queued up. Everything's gonna be right because of the way Nicki Minaj has forced these DJs to treat her. But because she's done that, her relationships are strained. And I do feel like Charlamagne and her just have a problem. And I like Charlamagne. A lot of people give Charlamagne a lot of hate that I don't adhere to. I actually am a huge fan of Charlamagne. I reviewed his book last year when it came out. I can't wait for the second one. I listened to his podcast. He's sort of like an idol for me. But the problem that people are having with Charlamagne when it comes to the Nicki and Cardi conversation is they keep watching him change the bar. It's like Nicki got to dunk on a 10-foot rim, but Cardi got to dunk on a 4-foot rim. And then if Nicki misses the dunk on a 10-foot rim, he'll be like, well, Cardi dunked. No, she got the short rim. When Nicki dropped Chun and Barbie Tingz off rip, Charlamagne said he doesn't like Barbie Tingz, right? He just doesn't like Barbie Tingz, but he likes Chun. When he said that, I immediately said, because lyrically, there are no holes in Barbie Tingz. There are little holes in Chun lyrically in places. Like King Kong goes on for too long, I said that. And of course, now, the week after, he found another hole. So now his thing in his last episode of his podcast, which I listen to because I listen to Brilliant Idiots every week. I don't have to like what is said there, but I like hearing opinions. He says, oh, I like Chun, I just don't know what Laura Bancroft means. And then he made fun of it again on Twitter, and the title of the episode was Idiots Bancroft, right? So it's basically clowning the line. I said before, we know what you do when you pick out rap lines and you clown them and you try to make them sound whack. But still to this day, Motorsport came out, what, 6 months ago? I don't know what the fucking upset off is, and this is the man who co-signed an album in which Cardi B said, it's lit like a lamp, lick you like a stamp. We ain't gonna act like the bar for lyricism is placed on the roof when you put it on the sidewalk for a girl with a ghostwriter. And that's the problem that people are having. And I consume Charlamagne content. I'm gonna pull the card. He's a Cancer. I'm a Cancer moon. Let's talk. As a Cancer, if a friend does you wrong or if a friend says certain shit to you, you just don't recover. You don't like that shit and it makes you petty. And Charlamagne is just, to me, he's being a petty Cancer about Nicki's shit. He's intentionally not liked a whole bunch of shit, in my opinion, based on his relationship with her. But his opinion isn't the only opinion. I know he's on the biggest nationally syndicated hip-hop radio show. It's just the way it is. But we have to admit, there's a little bit of something there. I don't exactly know what it is. Some people are saying saying that he's allegedly paid by Atlantic. I don't know if that is the truth, but I do know Atlantic has its ties in that office because Angela Yee used to work for or with Atlantic, and when K Michelle went up there and blacked on her, she blacked on her because she said, you know my label, you know the people up there, and you know what kind of damage that could have been done to me and yada yada, because she's signed to Atlantic. So whatever that may be, you just gotta take some of this media with a grain of salt because it's intentionally skewed one way and it's really stopping you from participating and really liking them both if that's what you want to do. But another thing y'all gotta stop doing is you have to stop acting like they're the only two female rappers that exist. If it's the NBA Finals and there's only two teams left, you're gonna compare the teams. You're gonna want to have somebody win. But on NBA opening day, when the first games of the 82 game season starts and all the teams are in, there's so many different comparisons and relationships going on that you don't really have to just stick between two. Y'all have got to stop acting like female rap right now starts and ends at Nicki Minaj and Cardi B. LaKaylee47 is super sweet, super dope, super talented, and she's gonna be a force to be reckoned with in the rap game very soon, and her debut album Wash and Set was lit. Treasy is still out here looking good as shit and rapping half of these niggas underneath the table. Young M.A. is cranking out bangers that people aren't listening to. Malibu Mitch just signed to Atlantic, and her new song Give Him Some Money is amazing. I love Malibu Mitch. I talk about her all the time. Megan Thee Stallion is from Houston. She's super dope, has a Houston swag, and adds a completely different thing to the rap game going on right now. You got Saweetie, who I say is a little bit lyrically challenged, but she's got like this Warren G cool, unbothered swag to her as well, and she's from Cali. Rhapsody is literally amazing. I loved her album Layla's Wisdom, but I will say you have to be a rap fan to ingest Rhapsody. If you want like pop rap, you're not gonna really be able to ingest Rhapsody, but the album was fantastic. Her song Ooh-Wee with Anderson .Paak is fire. So many girls are rapping and rapping well. Now is the time. Y'all gotta stop acting like it's only these two. Open the door, let these other girls in, let these other girls shine, and then the market will be so diverse, there'll be no need to compare them to. You can compare anybody you want. But is comparison that bad? I'm gonna say no. I said it in the motorsport video. If this was the WNBA, right, and it was the WNBA Finals, you wouldn't say, how dare these women be put against each other? Oh, they should be friends. Forget the trophy, split it in half like Katie Heron at the Spring Fling. No one's gonna say that. Like, that's patronizing. I'm sorry. Women can compete and dog it out and fight for a crown if they really want to, and it's exciting. Hip-hop is exciting. That's what it's about. We compare everybody. We compare Drake, Cole, and Kendrick, Pac to Biggie, Jay to Nas. That's what this genre is built on. But if you're gonna compare them, you gotta keep it real. We love Cardi B because of who Cardi B is. I personally, watching Cardi B start talking her shit on the internet and make it to where she is, and I'm kind of doing the same thing, I look at her like, yo, anything is possible. She, being herself to her heart center, has willed herself into everything that she wants in life, and that is amazing. But when it comes to rap, if she's not writing, that's a problem, and what is being written is very simple. And a lot of people are gonna say, you know, her doesn't writing is not a problem. Let me tell you something. Her not writing is a problem, and don't listen to these industry niggas telling you that it's not. Because when it comes down to the greatest of all time conversation, the first thing that they will do to excuse a woman from being in the greatest of all time conversation is that you don't write your rhymes. And Nicki's whole message since the day she put out that first mixtape has been, I write my shit. I've never needed a nigga to write my shit. I do my shit, and I'm the best bitch doing it. That's all she's ever wanted y'all to know. And still, to this day, is still what she's saying. Rap is very misogynistic, and patriarchy uses not writing rhymes to keep women out of that conversation. And let's look at all the women who've done amazing things that never get brought up. Missy is a superstar, visionary, producer, rapper, singer, name it, she can do it. For the best, and she is the best. But her music was so successful, they'll write it off as pop, and because she wasn't conventionally attractive, they just erase her. They act like Missy's not in the greatest of all time conversation. And so that's why she spends her time on Instagram, on Twitter, reminding people of what she did because she doesn't want to be erased. They'll tell you that Lauryn Hill can't be in the conversation because she only has one album. Like Lauryn Hill isn't out rapping most niggas to ever pick up a mic on how many mics. The Brat was the first female rapper to go platinum, I believe, and they just don't count her. They don't bring up Rod Digga. They don't bring up MC Lyte. Two of the biggest female rappers that we've ever had, the pioneers of this shit, Lil' Kim and Foxy Brown. They immediately shut them out of the conversation because they say that neither one of them wrote. And Remy Ma is one of the best female rappers to ever pick up a mic, but they don't count Remy because of her lack of commercial success, much due in part to her jail time. And Nicki Minaj is the only one that checks off all those boxes, who's been able to do it all at a level that has been crazy. And she's in the conversation for a lot of people that want to have the conversation. If you had to pick a woman to put on that greatest of all time list, you're gonna pick Nicki Minaj. But if you see them trying to erase Nicki Minaj with Cardi B, they can get rid of Cardi B in the same way that they've gotten rid of everyone else by saying she does it right. right. Do not fall for the trick. Patriarchy doesn't want Nicki's excellence to be in the books. I think that a lot of the OG female rappers sided with Kim during the Nicki and Kim beef or whatever, and a lot of them have prior relationships, they have history with Kim. I understand loyalty. I'm good on that. But if they see what's happening, it's up to them to not be crabs in a bucket and to step out and say, no, you will not erase her. But instead, I kind of feel like they're all pointing the finger like, ha bitch, it's your turn. And I'm like, that's not it. First of all, it's not her turn. And second of all, that doesn't help any of you. Realize what is happening. In your face, they're trying to erase the only woman who can count in that conversation. And a lot of people have to realize that. And all these factors are contributing to why people can't support Nicki and Cardi B. And it's completely stupid because so much is happening and the conversation is becoming oversimplified and it's being skewed one way, and it just needs to be had as to what is really happening. And if Cardi B decides not to rap another day and Nicki is still working on getting Cash Money them 6 albums, they gonna put another girl in that spot and try it again. So please understand what is happening. But if you're a fan of female rap the way that I am a fan of female rap, realize you're here because you love black women. That's why we're all here. You love black women, you respect black women. Hip hop was created as a way for the voiceless to be heard, and nobody's voice has been silenced in history more than the black women's. And so when you come and you're a fan of female rap and realize that's what you're supporting the power of the black women's expression, and that is beautiful. Regardless of who you stand, regardless of who you love, realize what you're doing. People get too caught up in the who's and the what's. We are all here because of that, and that's the beauty of hip hop, and that's the beauty of the women who are able to do amazing things in this space. I made this playlist called Femme Noir a few months ago. I've updated it with new bops from new mixtapes. I put Chun and Barbie Tingz on there. It's just a fun playlist for you to learn about more female rappers and to just groove. It's great. It's full of some of the best songs ever made by women in hip hop. So please go follow that on Spotify. Love that playlist. Realize you're here because you love black women, and stop the bullshit. You can very much so like Nicki Minaj and Cardi B, but if you love female rap the way I love female rap, you gotta protect Nicki. That's just the truth. So that's all I gotta say. Let me know how you feel in the comments below as usual, and if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. If not, suck a dick, and I'll be seeing you guys later. Deuce. Was it worth it, dummy? I ain't mind a bit. Still on that show getting no chips. Time to dip. Well, Rem, that's a direct shot at Remy Ma, and it just is what it is. She gonna have to hold that.